Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara O'Brien. Joining me this week are Ed Gamble, Maisie Adam and Eshaan Akbar, Sophie Duker, Hugh Dennis and Ed Byrne. As we continue to do this programme under COVID regulations, all of our panellists are enclosed in Perspex presentation boxes, and the best one can be taken home by the audience tonight and put on your mantelpiece. The audience are themselves sitting in what appear to be socially distanced seats, but they're not. They just don't like each other. And supplementing that tough crowd, we have a series of people who are happy to show us their homes as a Zoom crowd. Hello, the Zoom crowd. Good to have you here. We start tonight with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Sophie, which category would you like?
Could I please have home news?
OK, Grant, your topic is home news. The answer is 17 days. What is the question?
Is it how long you can drink milk past its sell-by date if you're a legend?
Is it, what is the average length of a school term?
Is it what's the fastest ever contact tracing time on the COVID app?
Is it, according to the Tories, how long can a poor child make one apple last?
Is it Joe Biden's life expectancy?
Is it how much of April did I spend staring at a sourdough starter?
Is it, if I'm honest, how many days of Ramadan have I actually observed my whole life?
Don't tell us that.
Is it, given my 1-star customer rating, how long have I been waiting for Uber to connect me to a driver?
Is it how long does Boris Johnson's sperm survive inside the womb?
That is hardy sperm, isn't it?
Is it how long after I've shaved my pubes do my genitals stop looking like a fat man with his face pressed up against it?
Is it, I absolutely love the fella, but how long is Captain Tom's record for the 100 metres?
Wow, the backlash begins here.
No, I love him. I love him, he's great.
Does anyone have the correct answer, please?
Is it the Welsh firebreaker lockdown?
It is absolutely. Thank you very much. Sophie Duker, you're absolutely correct. Thank you. Yes, the question I was looking for was, how long is the so-called firebreaker lockdown being enforced in Wales? This is the news that Wales has controversially imposed a lockdown until the 9th of November in order to try and slow the spread of coronavirus. During this time, people are barred from leaving their homes, apart from exercise, buying supplies or providing care, and only essential goods can be sold. Why has the move angered Welsh shoppers, for example?
Because they can't go shopping.
And that is central to what Welsh shoppers do. You can't stop those Welsh shoppers shopping.
No, you can't. Because you can only buy essential items, can't you?
Yes.
In a pandemic, you cannot buy someone a get well card in Wales.
I think the way they decided was they make all these different products go past you on a sort of travelator, and then the ones you remember, you're allowed to buy.
One essential item is stationery. You're not allowed to buy stationery.
No, they all move past you.
That's mad, though, that hair services, hair salons have been defined as non-essential. I mean, look what I did to my hair in lockdown. And you're telling me they're not essential. This shouldn't have been allowed to happen.
Maisie, did your hairdresser go into lockdown halfway through your haircut?
It does feel like it was midway through and you got a call from your agent going, no, the Mad Max film has been cancelled.
It's the thing you let your children do to you when they're bored.
OK,
you know?
I think we can move on now.
Look, go back to the shopping. The thing that's quite intriguing with this is magazines are essential, books apparently non-essential. Among the essential items, alcohol was regarded as essential and is always held up by people going, oh, but you didn't stop alcohol.
This is the thing. There was a supermarket that sanitary products were not essential. Yet when you look at what the essential ones, it was definitely a list that was compiled by a man, because it was like beer, bacon, condoms, FIFA 21.
Yeah, it's just some bloke going, never mind periods, what about my period? I think people are more on board with it because it's called Firebreaker.
Yeah.
You deliberately picked a Firebreaker. I think we could do it here if we called it, like, Dragon Cock Laser Attack.
You're not allowed into Wales, are you?
You're not allowed into Wales. No, even if you're Welsh, you're not allowed into Wales now. Police are actually on the border stopping people going in or out.
What happens if you fly over Wales? Do they shoot you down with an anti-aircraft missile?
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Oh, big steely bird.
One of the amazing things that happened in Wales, though, is that there was a cinema that had its toilets in England, but the cinema was in Wales.
Yeah.
And I love that you have to go to England for a wee. Like, you get up and someone's like, is it a tier 1 or a tier 2?
Business being forced to close include beauty salons, car dealerships, auction houses, nightclubs, strip clubs, which, you know, I got to say is unfortunate. Nothing for the small business owner like myself. Just in March, unfortunately, I put all of my money into a strip club in Cardiff called Super Spreaders. And that name has backfired.
I have to say, though, with people having to wear face coverings and, like, pubs having to close early and they've set up checkpoints, I'm just really happy that finally, Sharia law has arrived.
Can I just say one thing?
You can say one thing, yeah.
Cashier number 2, please.
Is the boxing in beginning to get to this stage? Why do they do that in such a jaunty voice? I always find them queuing up in the post office. It just seems they've really put an effort. Cashier number 3. And every time it's supposed to be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
You're expecting cashier number 2. It's not. By the way, how should we go into lockdown? I mean, they've gone into lockdown as a precautionary matter. Would you be willing to do another lockdown? Ready for another lockdown here?
There is something to be said for some of the restrictions. You know, the fact that we've had to social distance, the fact that we couldn't leave our houses. I didn't brush my teeth for 3 weeks.
Do you think we will go back into lockdown? It does seem quite likely, doesn't it? Because everybody's very competitive. So the Welsh have now got Firebreak, haven't they? And we're talking about Circuit Breaker. And the Scots have got extra tiers, haven't they? They've gone even harsher, haven't they?
It's an arms
So they
race
go up to tier. Yeah, they've gone up to tier 5. So up to tier 4, it's about the same as ours. But tier 5, it's got different restrictions on movement. So in tier 5, Nicola Sturgeon just stares at you, and you're not allowed to move until she turns round.
It is a curious thing the way they've done it. That, you know, we've got 3 tiers in England, and then Scotland's gone, right,
Yeah.
we'll have 5, and then not content with having 5 versus 3, they're going, but ours is going to start at 0.
The reason is because level 5 is independence.
Free of the infection of English people.
Yes.
But once again, though, 5 tiers, 5 pillars. I told you, Sharia's here to stay.
It's creeping Sharia.
I just want to see Northern Ireland just step into the war. I just want to see, like, you know, England goes 3, and Wales goes, and then Scotland goes 4 tiers, and I just 5 tiers. I just love the idea of Northern Ireland going, right, fuck it, we're doing 10. Just...
Only Protestants get to go to tier 9. Meanwhile, what will you soon be able to get on British high streets in just 12 minutes?
Laid.
Is this the £12 COVID test?
It's not £12.
No, 12 minutes.
It's a 12-minute COVID test, and it's Boots who are proposing this. There's a 12-minute check to be able to get to see if you're positive for coronavirus. It costs £120 to be available in selected shops.
Boots are going to offer you a test to see if you have a virus that could drain the life out of you and stop you from seeing your friends, right? I thought they did pregnancy tests.
It's £120, but you can get it as part of the meal deal.
You can get a soft drink, crisps, and a sandwich for £122.29.
If you test positive, I mean, presumably you wait for the result, right? So if you test positive, do you have to self-isolate in Boots?
Not a place you'd want to get news like that.
No. And then what happens if you've got it? Did they just have to go, sorry, everyone, we have to shut now because this lady here's got COVID?
This idiot here has given everyone COVID. That's idiot.
I think Boots is a good place to get it, though. You get a lot of advantage points. 480 advantage points with a £120 COVID test.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you do get a deadly virus, but you also get the electric toothbrush you've always wanted.
If Dominic Cummings went to Boots, he could have got a positive test and then an eye test without getting on the...
At the end of the round, the points go to Ed, Maisie and Eshaan. Now we play a round called Free School Meal of News. This game involves Sophie and Eshaan, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round's the stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and whoever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. First subject is anger. Who wants to come in on that? Sophie.
I got so angry during lockdown, even about things that were meant to be good. I got angry about Eat Out to Help Out, a government initiative that briefly delighted feminists everywhere before we realised it was actually about Wagamamas. I'm mainly angry about really, really petty shit. I'm angry about cyberbullying, but I'm angry specifically that people send me emails and in those emails use the phrase, "Nice to meet you." How can it be nice to meet me when they don't even know me? Or people say they're angry about huge things like climate change, and of course I'm generally angry about climate change, but I'm angry specifically at the fact that they keep giving deadly hurricanes little old lady names. Like Katrina, Ophelia, Laura, Doris. Doris, guys, I know about the naming conventions of storms, but every time a storm causes devastation overseas and it's got a white man's name, I'm like, fair. Doris was like your granny walking in and being like, "I'm one bad nana." I get angry at heat waves, specifically British heat waves, because I feel like British people get absolutely feral whenever the temperature's anything above 17 degrees. People change in the heat. You see them in Sainsbury's just sort of panic buying Calippos. People getting onto public transport wearing like a three-piece suit and sandals. The worst thing about a heat wave is that you get these old geezers with the body confidence of Kardashians. They go out into the parks, they find the best spot, they lie down, they strip off, they lube up, they lie there in the rays like uncooked gingerbread men. Just looking up at the sun going, "Bake me!" People don't think I get angry because I'm adorable, but I do. I get so angry all the time, but I can never show it because I know that if I show it, I'll get stereotyped as an angry black woman. And I don't want to be stereotyped, so at the end of the day, I just hold my anger in and eat fried chicken and twerk furiously.
Thank you very much, Sophie. OK, that leaves with Eshaan. Let's see where your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is health.
Obviously. Just to let you know, so I actually have a hearing impairment. That's my hearing aid, which means when I go for a job interview, I can see an HR manager going, tick, tick. Please be gay, please be gay, please be gay. Ridiculous, right? They're not the only ones that do weird shit when they find out I'm deaf, right? The other day I was walking down the road, this guy walked past me, he noticed my hearing aid. This is all he yelled out. "Oi! Bluetooth wanker!" It's not a Bluetooth earpiece. Or the other one I get is, "Oh, Eshaan, it's so interesting that you're deaf because I think I'm actually a bit deaf too." What do I do with this information? You can't do that with any other disability, can you? You can't go up to someone in a wheelchair and say, "Mate, when I drink too much, my legs feel a bit wobbly as well." You can't. But also, I feel like deafness is one of those disabilities that doesn't get the respect it deserves. Like, I don't feel like I can get the same benefits as other disabled people. Like, I can't legitimately enter the Paralympics, can I? There's blind football, wheelchair basketball. A deaf race would be a line of men just waiting to start. It's not all bad, though, because my deafness actually makes me eligible for a disabled person's rail card, which has been really useful these last 6 months, right? And I'll be honest, when I got it, I thought, do you know what? Because deaf people don't get the same benefits as other people, I'm going to try and make sure I get as many of them as I can, right? So I thought I'd try and get myself a blue badge, right? So I walked into the local council office, a bit too ably. And the guy behind the counter, he took one look at me and was like, "Oh, my God, God, yes, come on over. I was like, wow, this guy's so good. He knows how disabled I am, and he's beckoning me over, right? So he beckoned me over, he sat me down, and he pulled out a form. And the form, you have to tick the reason why you're giving someone a blue badge, right? And he ticks off weight-related mobility issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eshaan. OK, at the end of the round, the points go to Sophie. Come on. Our next round is called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So what's going on here?
Oh, this is the first time that Boris with wood has not ended in pregnancy.
Is this Boris's YouTube video, How to Screw Things Up?
Is this the answer to the question, what do you get if you cross a tool with a drill?
Is this Boris just going, I'll show you strong and stable, Theresa?
This is a massive plank holding a piece of wood.
This is a tongue twister, isn't it? It's how many flat packs can a fat prick pack if a fat prick can't flat pack?
I think since hiring Dominic Cummings as an advisor, this is the closest Boris has felt to actually wielding power.
Oh, that is such a wise quip.
Is this a month from the 2021 Conservative calendar, Tories and power tools?
I've got a suspicion he's staple gunned his knee to the wood.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if this is a picture of him dismantling a Santa's grotto.
Is it Boris saying, here I am with my German drill and this plank made from Norwegian pine next to some Italian steel to say British industry can go it alone?
Is that the correct answer, by the way?
It's Boris Johnson.
It is indeed Boris Johnson. Thank you very much, Hugh. Very good. This is a recent picture of Boris Johnson, who has been facing pressure on a number of fronts this week. What latest issue is Johnson under pressure to U-turn on?
Free school meals,
Yes,
as illustrated by him holding a piece of wood. Between this picture.
Because it's very difficult to get... Boris, could you pose as if you're not... Could you pose taking food off a child? Could you not? Just one shot of you taking the food, and the child going, like a child holding, like, Oliver Twist, and Boris going, no.
The Tories have now given up any level of pretence of not being Disney-level villains, haven't they? Like, I'm waiting for their zero-tolerance Dalmatian policy.
Now, obviously, by the way, you know, there was a lot of debate over the summer about balance in the BBC and us having to, you know, reflect that. So maybe the kids aren't that hungry.
I mean, you can't get a fairer thing than the idea of giving food to poor kids, right? And they've managed to... Because I understand when they say things like, well, we can't give them money because they'll buy drugs with it. But they've literally... A Tory MP has said that he knows that if you give them food, they could use that to buy drugs with. Like, seriously, like, what goes on in boarding schools in this country? Oh, good, a food parcel. Yeah. Oh, some humbug, but I'll swap it for some China White.
Yeah, it's called Tuck for Smack, and it's very popular.
OK, has there been a backlash to this?
Marcus Rashford.
Marcus Rashford, yes, has.
I feel like Marcus Rashford has to be protected at all costs. He's amazing. I say his name at the point of climax, and it's the only way my partner can come.
I'm a Leeds fan, and it's really quite frustrating when somebody from a team that you're meant to hate does something absolutely beautiful and wonderful and amazing. I swear to God, like, if Millwall end up donating their salary to charity, I'm out of football for good. Like.
It's done great things for the image of footballers, because I think him doing this has made up for at least 8 of the rapists.
Marcus Rashford was promoting then, amplifying, as they say, all the businesses who are working with Fair Share, which is a charity which is doing this, supplying meals to families. Which major fast food chain also joined in?
McDonald's.
McDonald's did, yes. And
McDonald's are doing a Boris Isn't Happy meal.
I think it's amazing. The Tories have got to take a really long, hard look at themselves. They're beaten to the moral high ground by McDonald's. You know, who's gonna get there next? Skeletor and the hyenas from Lion King.
Do you know who I feel most sorry for in all of this? Oh. Jamie Oliver. He must be seething.
Yeah, piss off, Rashford. I'm Mr. Healthy Meals for the kids.
Moving on, OK. What's going on here?
This is me and my homies going to the sperm bank.
They are actually very lucky to get this shot at all, because this is Zanussi's new walking, talking washing machine.
Jones, I know I don't take part in these rounds, but it does look like somebody bleached the minions.
This is the state of dogging in 2020.
Is it going for a walk in Tier 5?
It looks like someone's bleached the minions.
Dara, guess which one of those is going to get you?
It's hideous! That's industrial espionage, essentially.
Little do you know, there's a volcano just there, and this is actually how they make lava lamps.
It looks like someone's bleached the minions. I'm just giving them options, Dara.
Is this the wedding party at my big fat Muslim wedding?
Guys, you know Eshaan is Muslim, right? You've all been reacting like I said, though.
To say, on the left of the picture, that is a very odd place to put a yellow heated towel rail.
Is this the reception at my big fat Muslim wedding?
I tell you what, it looks like someone's bleached the minion. That's a choice of 3.
Or, at least allow me into the choice.
I'm quite glad to see that the COVID restrictions haven't hit the porn industry too hard. But it does look a bit like someone's bleached them.
I am never joining in again. That's it. 15 years I waited to join in. I finally joined in, and you just bullied me out of it. From here on in, I'll just do the buzz. That's all I do. That's my life. Does anyone tell us what it actually is?
It could be 2 things. Either, I think this is a story about America, where they found a massive hornet's nest, which there's a sort of Asian type of hornet which has made its way into North America.
Could be that.
They've got rid of with a vacuum thing, or someone has bleached.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Ed, you and Sophie! Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely lines from a thriller.
You're not going to believe what they've done. They've bleached the minions.
My joke! My joke!
Do you care for a game, 007? Dinosaur top trumps?
We've put charges here and here. No one will be able to get into central London without paying.
I won't let you die on me! So I'm just going to roll you onto the floor. You can die down there.
Should I cut the red wire? No, Bond, it's just my tampon.
You want £250,000 now and another £250,000 when the job is done? Come on, mate, it's only a boiler.
We are going to find this so-called blowjob killer, and when we do, he's going down for a very long time.
It's going to explode at any minute. Well, it's your daughter's nappy. You change it.
The British Secret Service may have M, but we have someone twice as good. Eminem.
The first rule of Fight Club is scan the QR code on entry.
Look, we can't talk for long because we're both female characters.
Vodka martini. Shaken. Not... Actually, this is my 6th one, so I don't give a fuck if you make it in a blender.
It goes off in 10 seconds. You will never stop me. Oh, you've put it on snooze.
Look, it's really tough out there because of the pandemic, so we're going to have to put you on furlough leave on 80% of what you're worth. So 007, you're now 005.6.
I don't know which wire to cut. Look, this is my first vasectomy.
What's the cause of death? Well, I think a lot of this blood is actually supposed to be inside his body.
Mr. Bond, I am a high-level government advisor. Don't assume I'm going to sleep with you just because my name is Breasty Lovecock.
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear in a nature show.
Now we see the fastest predator on land, Prince Andrew running from American lawyers.
And as I watch these birds begin their mating ritual, I know that I'm really making full use of my Pornhub subscription.
I cannot believe it. Someone has bleached the minions.
Sperm whales. Could they be the reason the sea is so salty?
Here is the Indian elephant being asked by its mother why it hasn't met a nice girl yet.
The mighty bear emerges from hibernation. Time to get back on Grindr.
The male snake will shed its skin up to 12 times a year, all because it thinks moisturising is a bit girly.
As of 2020, the global population is 7.8 billion people. And you're still single.
The Serengeti, home to absolutely shitloads of animals.
Thanks to the wonders of modern technology, we can now translate what these penguins are saying into English. Let's listen in. Bloody hell, it's cold!
The owl's head can rotate 720 degrees before coming off in your hands.
I mean, just look at that massive fuck-off herd of elephants.
It is over. The hippo has won and the flamingo retreats because, frankly, he hasn't got a leg to stand on.
Just look at all those rhinos. Endangered my hole.
Well, it turns out a bull in a china shop wasn't as dramatic as we thought. But join us next week when I'll be putting a cat amongst some pigeons.
At just 3 microns, it is almost invisible to the human eye. Yep, I've got a tiny penis.
And in the first episode, we're going to be taking an intimate look at how it builds its dams. Yeah, I'm as disappointed as you. Anyway, welcome to Inside the Beaver.
At the end of that, the voice to Ed, Maisie and Eshaan. And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Eshaan Akbar, Maisie Adam and Ed Gambo. Commiseration to Sophie Duker, Hugh Dennis and Ed Byrne. Thanks for watching. I'm Darren Breen. Good night.
Having been evicted, Hattie is getting back on her feet. 20s from BBC Three. New comedy streaming now. And can Jamie and Spencer track down boxing legend Eddie Hearn? They're just 6 calls away. Listen with the BBC Sounds app.